The legendary creator of Akira, Katsuhiro Otomo, has created an animated masterpiece, 3 short stories woven together as a sequence of memories. Today, we're going to talk about the second part of the memories, an episode called Stink Bomb. It's a satirical story about a chemical researcher who is merely seeking a solution to get rid of his cold. But why is everyone around him dying? Let's dive into the story to find out what it's all about. The film begins with the picturesque views of Yamanashi, and then the scenes immediately shift to the waiting area of a doctor's clinic, swamped with patients. Some of them are recurring patients. It's revealed that there's a flu outbreak in the city. The patient inside the doctor's room is getting a flu shot by the nurse. The doctor recommends watching out for his symptoms and that the shot would do the trick. He writes him a prescription for the entire week. The next patient who walks inside has the flu too. Apparently, that year's flu outbreak is bigger than ever. This man who just got his shot gets dropped off at a lab. He's Nobuo, a lab technician battling the flu just like any other person in the city. Nobuo decides to go back to the lab despite the fever because he doesn't have anything to do back at home, and no one's there to take care of him either. Nobuo's colleague warns that he might set off the biocon alarm if he sneezes too much and suggests testing out the company's over-the-counter cold medication. Maybe take them all at once. Nobuo has been taking them, but they're not helping. Another colleague suggests he should try the new medication the company is working on since its samples are present at the chief's desk. 2 blue pills in the red bottle should take care of the flu. Nobuo pays a visit to the chief's office to show him some papers, but he doesn't find him there. Desperately trying to get some relief, he tries to find those pills. He reaches for the blue bottle since it says samples and decides to take just one of those red pills. Yeah, you may have taken the wrong ones. 2 girls are having a chat when they smell something like perfume. The chief comes out of his office into the hall and starts yelling. He's found out that someone has stolen the red pills. The same colleague who suggested Nobuo take the pills ended up revealing that Nobuo went inside the office and took some of the samples. Upon hearing this, the chief gets even more furious and asks where Nobuo is. They say that he wasn't feeling well, so he went to the reception to take a nap. The chief reveals that it wasn't fever medication and rushes to the reception to see how Nobuo is doing. Now, others can smell something unusual too. Nobuo wakes up from a slumber feeling refreshed and notices like it's morning and nobody woke him up. He steps into the hallway to check and finds one of the girls sleeping on a desk. Oh no, it looks like she's dead. And it's not just her, everyone in the lab is dead. Even the rats in the cages. Panicked by the sight, he calls an ambulance. He enters the chief's room and finds out that he's also dead. It looks like the chief turned off the biocon alarm, but why would he do that? Nobuo turns on the alarm and learns that an incident has happened. He's connected to a video conference with some folks who thought they related to the chief and are surprised to see someone else on the screen. They're asking for Amada, the person in charge. The webcam rotates and the people on the other end of the line of workers are stunned to find the boss on the floor. Nobuo tells the man that everyone in the facility has ended up like this and he's not quite sure when all of this happened and for how long. Nobuo gets yelled up for calling the police or the ambulance, as none of them have shown up in this time. He's asked to find a medication and certain papers and bring them to the Tokyo headquarters. The man behind the screen is Goichi Ninasaki, the head of a new medicine development. He's also instructed not to give the medicine and papers to anyone but him and tells him to keep that accident discreet, and to not tell anyone that he works for the company since all of this has something to do with the pills. The government can't know anything about that mission, which is why he must find the papers and medicine samples and get out of the lab before the police find him. The pills happen to be part of a biological weapons program being developed for the government. While people are dying, there's a strange view outside. Cherry blossoms and sunflowers have bloomed at the same time. All plants in Kafu City are blooming. The helicopter with a bunch of reporters in the air is able to spot a survivor. It's none other than Nobuo swinging a flag to get their attention. As soon as they approach him, the repelling smell gets to them and they fall down. Nobuo, unaware of what's happening, uses the camera to call for help. Garmata, the president of Nishibashi Pharmacy, and the head of development Nurasaki explain everything to the Japanese military, and that they're trying to get data from Chief Amada's computer to figure out how potent the pill is. The wind carrying the odor is spreading. The authorities think it's a poisonous gas, but they have yet to determine what's causing it. It takes a while for Kamada and Nurasaki to figure out that the only survivor, Nobuo, is the cause of the gas. The men from the military spot Nobuo and try to approach him to rescue him, but they die from the odor too. It's clear to everyone that Nobuo is the stink bomb. The officials quickly withdraw from the scene. Nobuo's family sees him on TV asking for help. The head of the research company, on the other hand, deduced that Nobuo took the pill and now he's a big threat to everyone. The sweat produced by his body due to overwhelming emotions and body movement is the reason why he stinks. The military wants him dead, but others who invested in the research want him alive. Dozens of tanks, helicopters, and fighter jets chase after Nobuo. His grandmother speaks on a loudspeaker from the helicopter and tells him not to go to Tokyo. Then suddenly, one of the soldiers shoots at Nobuo after trying to escape. He gets attacked by a huge number of fighter jets, tanks, and even battleships. The missiles destroy roads, bridges, and even houses. He's on a scooter and oddly enough, he dodges all of the attacks effortlessly. It turns out that the chemicals on Nobuo's odor are causing interference on the targeting systems. The rockets start going in the wrong direction, so the military's plan to kill Nobuo goes south. Orders are given to evacuate Tokyo. At this point, there's chaos throughout the city. The traffic is jammed, the airports are crowded, and the Prime Minister is planning to release a statement asking the UN for help. Kamada and Murasaki are ordered to escape from the scene. The US military, who've been watching the situation up to this point, takes over the mission and sends in a NASA squad of 3 soldiers in superpowered spacesuits to try to catch Nobuo, who they want alive. NASA's latest spacesuit is a prototype which can repel electromagnetic radiation and can help capture Nobuo alive. Nobuo's scooter's given up and he can't figure out why he's so hungry all the time. Unaware of the mission, the Japanese army destroys a section of the bridge to prevent Nobuo from fleeing, locking him in a tunnel while using liquid nitrogen wind repulsion devices to try to freeze him. Meanwhile, the NASA squad wearing the prototype suits arrive at the scene and try to approach the stink bomb. Nobuo is frightened to see these men, but at this point, he's got nowhere to run. They manage to put him successfully inside the isolation bag and drag him back to the military headquarters in Tokyo. One of the NASA soldiers brings the suitcase full of documents and the sample pills to Mr. Murasaki. After the soldier presses the button on his suit and one of the protective layers of his helmet is removed, they find out that the person inside the suit is Nobuo and he's still completely unaware to the fact that he's the cause of the biological pollution. He ejects himself out of the exosuit, killing everybody in the facility. The end. The film left us with so many questions and we're sure you've got a bunch of them yourself. I mean, how did Nobuo make it all the way into the command center without anybody noticing him? Why didn't they make him take off his costume before letting him in, or at the very least remove the tint? Why hadn't it occurred to him that the odor was actually coming from him all along? Do you know the story for Stingbomb is based on an actual event? It may be referring to the Gloria Ramirez incident causing toxic death. Tensei Okamura injects a much-needed comedy into memories, lightening the tone and throwing something completely unexpected at the audience. The dark humorous moments paired against the all-too-real sights of a viral outbreak add to the overall feel of this one-of-a-kind composition. The main protagonist's fumbling antics as he thwarts the government and army's advances never get old, and they always contribute to the story's absurdity quotient. Stinkbomb is a fantastic addition to this collection of stories and one that you'll remember for a long time. Until next time, take care.